Everybody, what's up? I've been getting asked a lot, actually, what my thoughts are on the arena changes that they just implemented into the game. So I thought we would talk a little bit about them in a different style of video than I tend to do. The lights, I've only got one of my lights on. I kind of got a headache. I don't want the lights in my face, but I've gotten asked a lot actually in the in comments of a few videos now what I think about the arena changes. So let's go through and read them and talk about them, and then I kind of want to talk about what I think's going on with Raid right now as a whole because I don't think it's looking good. So we'll talk about all that, but they're lowering the requirements for Gold 5 and Platinum tiers to 3,500. From in Gold 5 it's from 3,500 to 3,200, and Platinum it's from 3,800 to 3,500. This is dumb. It's just dumb. Like, for that top bracket, if they refuse to stretch Platinum out, there can be point thresholds for everything up to the top tier. The top tier should just be that number of players. The top 500 players, I think it is now. There shouldn't be a point threshold also. And this last week was evidence of that. There were times I can't remember how the week ended. I haven't kept up with it too much, but I know that for a lot of it there was no one in Platinum. That's stupid. It's just dumb. It's not well organized. It's not. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to have a point threshold for Gold 5, that's fine. And if it's 3,200 points, fine. And then beyond 3,200 points, the top 500 players should just be in Platinum. That's the way that should be. It's really not that complicated. A lot of other games do it that way. It really should not be complicated. It shouldn't. We should have never ended up in a situation where there was no one in Platinum. Because there's always a top 500. If everyone stopped playing Arena right now, 6 months from now, there would still be a top 500. There just would be. So it's dumb. It's a bad system. Also, we're working on stabilization of victory defeat points distribution, thus reducing the number of cases when the gap between victory and defeat points is too dramatic. You might notice the positive change after the update. This is one I've seen getting talked about a lot. People are gaining 4 points for a win and losing 16 for a loss. That's also, I mean, again, we never should have been in a situation where that was happening. I don't know why it was happening. It really doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't have to win 4 to counteract 1 loss. That just never should have happened. And I don't really understand why it did. But here we are. Another change that should be mentioned is that we're making the matchmaking more flexible in terms of selecting the opponents for players in silver and bronze, and making sure to avoid the scenario where players from higher gold tiers are drastically falling to lower ones. And probably the most anticipated changes planning to release in the nearest time are the progress mission changes. We're planning to adjust the requirements for the following missions. The Gold 1 mission is now Silver 3. The Gold 2 mission is now Silver 4. The Gold 4 mission is now Gold 1. The Gold 4 mission is now win 200 battles on Arena in any tier. So a little bit about the matchmaking. I don't know what they're going to do, honestly. We'll see. They have... That's about as ambiguous as it's always been. Every time they've ever talked about the changes they're going to make to matchmaking, it's always very vague. So I don't really know what they're going to do, and I don't really know what to expect. We'll just have to see how that goes. I don't feel like it should be that tough. But the whole state of Arena is so jacked up right now that it's hard to say. You know what I mean? Again, I don't encounter this in other games in Arena. I've never seen an Arena situation so muddy, so cluttered as this one. So I don't really know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. As far as changing the missions goes, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I reckon that's fine. Now the highest thing you have to do is just make it to gold, which is pretty reasonable. And then you just have to win 200 battles. So if you can just push into gold for a moment, You'll get that one mission done. And then if you have to drop all the way back down to bronze and farm your 200 wins there, that's fine. I think that's a fairly reasonable change. I think that's fine. What I do want to see is something done about what's going on in 3v3. Because if we're just stuck with that game mode, if that's just going to be in the game and we're stuck with it and they're never going to do anything to make it more interesting, it needs to be fixed too, because it's arguably in worse shape right now than regular arena. The problem is regular arena is the more important thing. It is the main. I feel like it's the main attraction. It's the more interesting game mode, and it's more important overall for the game. So definitely fix that first. But something's gonna have to be done with 3v3 because it's in awful shape. It's an awful awful shape. The whole system is bad. Matchmaking's terrible. The way that the rewards in the shop are gated is awful. The fact that you progress, you get promoted or demoted on a weekly basis instead of just as you climb is dumb. There's no reason for all of those things to be the way they are in 3v3. So I hope that they will focus on that this year as well. I still kind of am for the idea, honestly, of just scrapping that whole game mode and coming up with something else, because it's not interesting. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It's just a pain in the ass. Everything about 3v3 Arena is just a pain in the ass. So I personally wish they would scrap it and put something else in that slot. Give a different way to earn that kind of currency for that shop. I don't know. Come up with something else completely, because it's not an interesting take on Arena. It's just not. I've called it Arena times 3 forever. That's all it is. It's a worse. It's Arena times 3, but it's in worse shape than regular Arena. Terrible game mode. Least favorite game mode in the whole game by far. So that's what I think about the changes they're making to Arena. Now, as far as the state of Raid right now, I think what I'm realizing, I'm starting to get the impression that Plarium's in over their head. I think they don't have a lot of good ideas left. I just think that nothing interesting is really happening, and they go through these spells where they'll do some things and everybody gets optimistic and it's like, oh, this is really good, this looks good, this seems promising, and then they'll flip it around and pull it back. And we've speculated for a while that maybe that's on purpose, right? Maybe that's to keep things buzzing, to keep them trending, to you know what I mean? And in some ways it's good for business for both parts, because every time they do something stupid, we get to put out videos that always perform really well talking about what they've done stupid. So but I think as I'm looking at the game as a whole and comparing it to other games closely, like Awaken Chaos Era, who is just killing it lately, dude. Everything they're doing is right. It's so good. It's so good. If you're not playing it, you really need to check it out. There's a link in my description. You don't have to use it. I'm not trying to plug it to make money here. It's just fantastic. If you want to go see what a mobile game should look like, go play Awaken Chaos Era. I'm not saying it's perfect, but you will notice some drastic differences between Raid and Awaken Chaos Era. Quality of life, the kinds of content they're implementing, the way that they implement it, the way that the game is doing right now. They err on the side of things being easier as far as the events and stuff they release than too hard, because they want to make sure everybody can play and finish, whether they spend money or not. The content scales really well. Void Tower, which is that game's version of Doom Tower, scales much better. There is in-game content that's challenging and tough, and the whole it's just what a game should look like. It reminds me so much more of Summoner's War in the sense of they're doing everything right than Raid does. I feel like Raid has hit a point. They just released those other Doom Tower champs. I haven't even looked at their skills yet, because it doesn't matter what they do. We're talking years. We're talking years before you can start farming fragments for these new champions in Doom Tower. It doesn't matter what they do. There's no way they're interesting enough to be worth that. But that's what they keep doing. They just keep adding things onto the end of their already existing ideas. We are done with Doom Tower champs. We're done. We don't need them anymore, dude. How long do you think people are playing this game? Do you really think people are going to go 4 or 5 years to get a new epic that does what? I don't know. Poisons? Like, we've got everything. We've got everything we need in the game. Either change that system or stop it. Stop adding to it. It's kind of the 3v3 arena thing manifesting in every part of this game now, right? They're I just feel like they're out of ideas. Hydra's going to keep getting new heads. So what? How many of you truly care about Hydra? How many of you are having fun with Hydra right now? It was fun when it came out because it was new and interesting for a couple of days. We quickly realized it was way too difficult for most players to take on. I'm not interested enough in it to figure it out. I could hop on my main account and put together all these teams that are one key and everything. I don't care. It's not fun. It's just not fun. Um, you know what I mean? 3v3 Arena, I think, is the most blatant example of them just not having ideas, but it's starting to manifest everywhere else, right? The login calendar. Again, we're talking years. How long does it take to get Scion, who could not be worse? Couldn't is possibly the worst epic in the game? And we're talking, I don't know, I don't remember how long it is to get him, but they're just going to keep adding champs to that login calendar. They're going to keep adding champs at Doom Tower. They're going to keep adding Hydra heads. I'm sure eventually we're going to get 5 versus 5 arena, and it's going to be the same fucking thing that regular arena and 3v3 arena is. You know what I mean? There's just nothing interesting going on, I feel like, which is a bummer, because I think that this game has so much potential to be great. I think there's so many ways that this game is great. I'm still having fun with the game, but I'm having fun with the game on the newer accounts that I've started. My main account that's over $15,000 in, that has just about every champ I could want to do anything with. I have logged into once, I think, in the last 2 weeks. Free to Succeed, I'm still having a lot of fun with because it's challenging and I still have things to do. I'm still trying to clear Faction Wars. The Rare and to Go series that I'm doing every day, I'm having a good time with because I've created challenges for myself to make it interesting. I'm trying to use, what the game gives me, but it's like I'm having to come up with ways to make it interesting. The account that I can do everything on that I would want to do, I'm sick of. I don't want to play anymore. You know what I mean? So the fact that I'm having to come up with ways to make this game stay interesting, I think, says a lot about the state of it and what's going on with Plarium. I think their art team is fantastic, and again, I think there's a lot of ways that this game is really great and engaging. But I feel like we've hit a point where we're starting to be able to easily see that Plarium's running out of ideas, and that's not good. It's not good for a few reasons. It's not good because that's just not good, but it's also not good because there are ideas out there that they're not doing. They're not implementing. They need to get on Live Arena. Live Arena will be a if they do it right, or if they just don't do it all the way wrong. They don't even have to nail it on release, but they have to not do it all the way wrong. You know what I mean? Live Arena would be a huge breath of life into the game. I think that would get a lot of people fired up. That would be really interesting. It would be great for the content creators. It would be great for the game. They could start to have tournaments. They could start to have events. We could have content. We could have tournaments. We could do things with our viewers. There's so much that could come of that, right? So, like, that's a big one that they could get on that they're not doing. There are other types of content. We don't have Guild Wars yet, or Clan Wars and Raid. How do we not have that yet? This is a 3-year-old game, and we can't fight other clans yet. We can compete in clan boss damage, and then we have clan versus clan, which is horseshit. It's just playing the game against another clan. It's not actually going against another clan. It's easy. Make it 3 versus 3. 3 units versus 3 units. Copy it to the T, the way Summoner's War did it, and it'll be fine. Again, we're talking about another breath of life into the game. Everybody's going to get fired up. Now we're talking about new team comps. We're talking about a different kind of competition. We're talking about new content we can all make. These ideas are here, and instead, we're getting new Doom Tower champs, new Hydra heads, new champs on the end of the login calendar, and fusions. You know what I mean? We're not seeing anything interesting going on in events. This game is 3 years old. We still don't have interesting events. Like, that's not good. That's not a good look, right? It's not a good look. So it's going to be a real shame if they don't figure this out. And that's kind of my over-encompassing thought as a whole. Unlike when people ask me, like, what do you think about the arena changes? What do you think about this? I think it's going to be a real shame if they don't figure it out. Because I think this game has everything it needs to be far and away the best mobile game like this that there is. And they're just not doing the things that they need to be doing with it. They're not focusing the right areas. They're not fixing things in a timely manner. They don't understand balance. I think is something I said in a few videos. I said I had an epiphany that kind of summarizes everything going on right now, and it's that Plarium doesn't understand balance. They don't know how to balance champs. They don't know how to balance content. They don't know how to balance progression. They don't know how to balance value. They just don't understand how to balance. And that's what I mean when I say I think they're in a little over their head. I think this game got too big too fast. And they were like, crap. So I don't know. I hope they figure it out because I do like the game, and it's my job. You know what I mean? I need the game to do well while I try to grow other avenues so that if Raid does fail, I'm not screwed. But beyond that part of it, I just do enjoy the game, and I would like to see it do well. So I hope they figure it out. I think it's gonna be a real shame if they don't. And I think that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. Hopefully that kind of lets you in to where I'm at and what I think with everything that's going on right now. I just don't think it's looking good. I'm really optimistic, cautiously optimistic, and excited at the idea that they're going to drop some idea soon that we're all going to be like, ooh, that could be good. Live Arena, Guild Wars, some sort of new interesting content, some sort of real tangible fix to some of the problems in the game. I appreciate the way that they're tweaking the missions and stuff. I appreciate some of the effort, but I don't know how to feel about it beyond that. Like, I don't know if it's real effort. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're trying to artificially extend the life of the game by not fixing stuff that needs fixed. I don't know how much they have planned that they're not dropping. You know what I mean? The way that they dropped the skins, I feel like maybe the way they dropped the skins was just they had to the stuff with Russia's going on, obviously, so the Russian player base is no longer part of it. They can't make that money anymore, which is huge. That's a lot of their money, man. So I think maybe the skin drop was like, we're not completely done with this concept yet, but get it out so we can start making some money. We need to make up some of this money we're losing. Maybe that was why that came out so early and so skimpy. You know what I mean? But the fact that it's $50 for a skin and nothing else, they didn't bother throwing any gems or tomes or energy or anything in it to make it a little more enticing. $50 to make my Arbiter green? Like, I mean, the skin looks dope, but it's not $50 dope, bro. Like, put some other shit in there. It's digital. You don't have inventory to maintain. It's digital. So give us something. Give us a reason to spend $50 besides making our Arbiter green. Like, again, they don't understand balance. That's not a balanced pack. That's nothing. So anyway, I think maybe I feel like I'm slowly working my way into just ranting instead of making any actual points. So I just wanted to make this video because, like I said, I've gotten asked a lot what I think, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for this kind of discussion. I haven't dropped a discussion video, a hard discussion video in a while. So I'm interested to know what you guys think about everything. How do you feel about what I said? Have you had similar thoughts? Do you feel differently? Do you feel like they are doing the right things? I'd be interested to hear all you guys' takes and where you're at with it and how you're feeling. If you're playing any other games, I think there's a lot of players leaving. A lot of people asking me to give away their accounts. It's not good. Expensive accounts that they're deep into financially and time invested, and they're done. So I just don't want to do them. I'm too busy right now to be doing a bunch of account giveaways, so I'm not doing them. So you guys aren't seeing them, but daily, almost daily, I'm getting asked to do it. So that's not good. But either way, I'm excited to know what you guys think about what's going on right now. How do you feel about the arena changes? How do you feel about everything they're doing? What do you think about the skin? Is $50 worth it to you? Like, I want to know where you guys are at with everything. So that's it. I'm done rambling. I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys like the full screen approach. And that's it, man. Gonna get out of here. Appreciate y'all. Later.